Hey, here we go. Welcome back. Jake just showed that his only way to win at a competition is to watch everybody else try too hard. It's like that
Yep, and then they
the
lose.
tortoise.
But
Jake's lesson is he's the
what was
tortoise.
that thing? Let me think back to what was that Vin Diesel quote? Whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning, buddy.
I'm like, are we taking pearls of wisdom from Vin Diesel?
Well, yeah, I mean, it started out all right, okay, and then cars just magically fly out of planes later on. But okay, it started out normal, all right.
Fast and Furious 1 and 2, some of my favorite movies. I'm not saying they're good, but they're some of my favorite movies of all time. Number 3 is a heaping pile of trash. Listen, 4 and 5 you tolerate because, you know, they're enjoyable. Then you go to 6, 7, 8. I haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw yet, and I have seen 9.
Hobbs and Shaw was fun to watch. Only one I've ever watched.
Fast and Furious 1 and 2 are actually legitimately very enjoyable films.
So what?
Yeah,
what
number 9, all they talk about was family more than usual. It was like, I was like, this is the first time where I'm like, I'm kind of bored with all like that. And he's like a super
wrote that one.
dude. He's like a superhero. He's like ripping down cement blocks from chains and cutting and kicking metal bars, and they're flying. And he's like picking people up and throwing them. Like, I'm like, he legit went full blown. So the theory that the character has, like, we're invincible. I'm like, oh my god. They are going to turn this into a superhero series. There's nowhere to go after 9 but to make it a superhero origin series. Fast and Furious. We were superheroes the whole time. Like, nobody dies. Everybody that dies comes back to life, except for, you know, the guy that actually died by thinking he was Fast and Furious, but just didn't know how to drive a car. Whatever the actor's name was. What was it? The white guy?
I don't know.
Brian. What was the actor's name?
Paul something.
Yeah, Paul Manafort. I don't know. Whatever his name was.
Now, all I can
Paul
think
Walker,
about is
wasn't it?
Paul Walker. Paul
Yeah.
Walker. Yeah.
all I can think about now is I'm invincible, like Bruce Willis in the movie Invincible.
Old people
have the
burning.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Mhm.
That's the greatest clip of all time. I love it so much. It's a classic.
All right. Anyways, Jake.
So what happens?
Oh, yes. My apologies. So, all of a sudden, everybody's attention is kind of pulled away from like the various conversations and whatnot that are happening there. As you literally
Is there
hear.
a speed skating event? Because
No, it's a Densho dance off.
Hold on. If Kajinksi's gonna go
later, all right?
full modern, what they're gonna do is they're gonna invent curling. Okay, they're gonna go full snooze fest. They're just gonna go into curling. You can have that one orc furiously brushing the ice, while the other one just like.
Oh wait, it's called curling?
Yeah, is that Olympic sport?
I have always imagined it as just old people on cruises because of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, the sequel series, The Life on Deck.
Hold on. Are you referring to curling or shuffleboard?
Oh, wait. I don't know what the difference is.
So shuffleboard is old people on cruises. I actually legitimately enjoy shuffleboard because I played it as a kid.
Oh, curling's that.
Yeah. Because like shuffleboard, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time at like nursing homes and retirement centers and stuff like that because of like my mom's work and like my grandparents and whatnot. So I played a lot of shuffleboard and bocce and stuff like that. And I won't lie, those are legitimately fun games. But curling, oh boy.
Are they just pushing it like a disc to?
No, you don't push, you release.
Oh.
And then what they do is they scrub the ice to keep it slippery, but the friction. So they scrub it enough that keeps it like a slick enough and soft enough that it just continues to go.
What is our attention drawn to? Another strong segue, boys.
Yes, Josh, I've heard many firsthand accounts of people that lived in New York City before it had streets, when it was still dirt roads. It was weird. Talking to like 98-year-old people when you're like 12 years old. It was interesting. Anyways, So there's a bit of a commotion that you guys hear. Everybody roll me a perception check to see what it is that you're able to kind of like
I don't
hear.
I
Just
don't
roll
hear
a
it.
perception.
Oh, okay. You know what? I spent shirts, guys. I rolled an 18.
Hmm.
It's a shirt change. Should change shirts. Oh, but Varric's gonna actually hear.
Okay, sorry.
So what do we hear?
I'm chewing.
Chew
Neldorath,
fast?
you are. I have to swallow too. Neldorath, you're in the middle of a conversation. Somebody, of course, talking about your majestic blade, that you have there. So you're a little bit distracted, not able to really understand what's going on. You kind of like look up over the person's shoulder, who also inevitably turns around and misses most of the initial reaction. The two of you, however, are able to hear a combination of kind of like almost like a laughter from several people, and almost like a shocked conversation, like rapid, quick, shocked conversation, as people quickly start to crowd around. You saw somebody from off in the distance, Varric specifically, so somebody from off in the distance walk into the area holding something. Not entirely sure what it was. You think it almost looked like a basket or something like that. So a basket or a pot or something like that walking in. And then you see people starting to crowd around there. And again, you hear a couple of people laughing, a couple of people almost like a shocked conversation, like, and then like having a conversation and whatnot. It's happening kind of rapidly. And the clamoring and whatnot is really starting to pick up. Jake, you can also hear somebody saying, hey, I thought there was a bounty for that. And you know, a bit of a conversation happening over that. I imagine your characters go to investigate the scenario yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you start making your way over in that direction, you look to see what is there. It looks as though, and everybody's having a bit of conversation around you, something really needs to be done about this. I thought there was enough gold put on the head that they would be taken care of. Well, let's not talk about heads right now. As you guys go over and make your way over to the area, you actually see that there is it looks like a bowl, like a wooden carved bowl that happens to be there. And in that bowl, you can see there's a crumped up bit of flag. You can have to roll a knowledge, Warlord's check to be able to identify the flag.
Yeah. I'm on a roll, boys.
Waiting for one more. So it's actually Shadow who's able to identify the flag. Shadow specifically, you're actually able to identify it is the flag of, funny enough, Clan Kagong, who Nick had interacted with not too terribly long ago. So Clan Kagong flag happened to be there, and Shadow, again, you identify this, which is funny because you're the one that he was talking to about, and whatever. You identify that, and then you also are able to see kind of like as you're looking, you see the colors and you quickly identify it. You also see that inside the basket there's a head sitting inside there. Now, I imagine some of your characters might go over and further investigate, other than just seeing there's a head sitting inside of this bowl. With a flag inside of it, or do you kind of like hang back and not participate any further?
I would ask around what's going on. Okay. I'm interested in this. You're muted, Nick.
The best way to have Nick.
Facts. I'll take a peek.
Sure. Bergs?
Yep. Same.
You actually go up to investigate it? Okay.
I won't go up. I'll watch them. I'm not going to go up and look directly in the bowl or anything. I'll just watch what's going on. More taking in the reactions of others.
Okay. So Cell's talking, you're listening, he's looking. Okay. See no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. So you are going up to investigate the head. One of the things you notice right off the bat, Nick, is the head is blue. Like very, very blue. Looking at it over, you realize it looks like it must be frozen, like there's icicles on the hair and whatnot that's there. The eyes, the way that they're shut, they almost look like they're frozen shut. You know, the whole thing looks like it's very cold, like almost like it's a block of ice. Now, it's cold, don't get me wrong, but it's not so cold this thing would be a chunk of ice. You know, that's pretty fucking cold, with icicles and whatnot kind of coming off of it. It is a strange looking thing that you see there. You guys are able to hear the conversation that people are having around you of like, we're going to have to speak to the clans. We're going to have this this bounty increased. And another kind of shakes their head and says, I knew it was. This is actually Isa. What's his name? Isamar.
Isamu.
Isamu. Isamu actually chimes in and says, "I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The open plains is their battlefield. It is not going to be a battle won if you pursue them. You need to wait till they come to you." But obviously other people disregard the advice of Isamu. Like, that's stupid. This problem needs to be resolved. Clearly they have no problem doing whatever it is that they're doing. But the big question is, who the fuck is the ones doing this? You actually hear somebody refer to, at one point in time you actually hear, and we'll give this to Jake, as he had rolled the highest check on the perception before, you actually hear them refer to a person known as the Red Mongrel. Whoever they're talking about, they're known as the Red Mongrel. But none of your characters know who that is, unless you could beat a DC 30 knowledge local.
No.
Can I even beat it 30? I can. No, I don't think I can.
Well, you can always roll and see if it's worth looking.
Sure. I'll roll. I'm not afraid. No, I fail.
Usually do.
Ouch, that hurts. Turtle doubts his knowledge of the world as he hears about this person he's never heard of. He's normally up to date and actually studious on what's going on.
Nick?
I can't come close. I mean, I can try to natty 20 it.
If you guys brought companions with you.
Zara's is worse than mine.
I bet that Zara probably has like a negative.
That's correct.
Sure. Leo, let's see if she gets heard of it. She hasn't.
Jake?
Aurorum, I'm trying to pull open his character sheet, but it's roll 20 keeps freezing, which is annoying. Aurorum's local is... I mean, I'll roll it.
5% chance.
Nope.
All right. Okay. You guys have no idea who the Red Mongrel is.
I ask about it. I mean, I'm going in the crowd, like, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. So I figured I'm like,
diplomacy check is a gather information.
Yes, sir. It is certainly a gather information, as I critically fail this roll. Oh, I called it! I don't believe it. Wow. I did say it beforehand.
Somebody actually gives you a snide response. Somebody actually gives you a snide response as you're trying to inquire who it is. Be like, perhaps if you showed up to social gatherings on time, you'd be able to have a better understanding of what's going on in the world.
I look at them, and I just, like, don't give a fuck. They say that, I look at them in the eye, and I continue walking past.
He's slow blinks. SG, I missed you too.
Oh my god. That was... Can Aaliyah roll a diplomacy for gather information?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Can Aaliyah also roll gather information?
No, not for this. You guys are leading your own stuff. So, so in, what's it? Kushibashi? Narin. So you also go over and try to, gather any amount of information, but equally rejected. Like one of those things, and somebody gives you the response, saying, they literally give you the response of I'm surprised you don't already know, considering the similarities.
Look at these clans. We need to beat the shit out of them, okay?
But you guys aren't able to easily acquire information for this. So, unfortunately, and the night is kind of broken off with this happening here, as like people are going to go back and find out the significance, who sent this, where it come from, how information, so on and so forth. Is this some sort of threats against what the ball that's going on here, et cetera, et cetera. To be clear, the ball is not canceled. These are karak. They're not going to be intimidated by a head being served inside of a bowl. but it was a head served inside of a bowl to the pre-ball. So it is something that they're going to be wary of. That's understood. So they're going to start going their own way.
On the when things start to wrap up, can I find out who the head belongs to? Is it like the warlord of that clan, or is it somebody else?
Who rolled that awesome roll?
The 29. I did.
He can look it up. He can try to investigate, but he said ew head and walked away.
Well, I was handling other things. I mean, like, I'll look at it. Probably did at one point,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can I just ask somebody? I know.
So it's definitely not going to be the warlord of that clan, because you actually met the warlord of that clan, or at least Nick did recently, right? So it's not her head, but instead it is somebody else of the clan. So go ahead, Jake. You said you were going to ask.
I was just going to ask who, like, more or less who the head belonged to. Everything.
A simple question like that, whereas you're not trying to get more in-depth information, is something that not everybody necessarily know that. You could even ask the clan leader of that clan itself, be like, who was it? And she'll be able to respond and say, it was my warden, more importantly, my grandchild.
Ooh.
It's the last heir.
Think you're gonna be making some more with Naren, hey?
That's right.
She's past like birthing age at this point, right?
Hey, the dust in the barren lands got there somehow, buddy.
Man, you're like the person that on the day of a mass shooting goes up on stage and you're like, so I know I hear things are popping off lately. like I don't want to come at you with these jokes shoot too fast. Like
I wouldn't have said it. As funny as it would have been, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said so. Looks like you and this. What was he? The red mongrel or something?
Yeah, red mongrel. So what did you say?
You have a blood debt. I said, looks like you have a blood debt.
Shakes her head. We just are a clan of people that's don't tend to stay in our borders, and when you leave your borders, you are more vulnerable. I'd be careful if I were you. It seems the mongrel is in the south again. Who knows which clan will be next? And she says, and she actually, from where he's off to the side, getting kind of rejected by the next person trying to talk to him, she actually slowly looks up and over at Tessel.
Got 100 people, okay? My God. Everyone disses me. I got a wall to the north for a reason, boys. If they attack from the north, we're good.
Better question. How much is this bounty?
Yeah, I genuinely ask that.
Yeah.
She says, I don't remember the amounts. It's rather considerable and was banked by the northern clans and banked by a few clans of the south together, but I can imagine after this the north will get involved as well. I'll also be looking to add more money of my own into this endeavor. I'm hoping to see it through.
I see. Wow.
You can see that she's an older woman, so she's kind of muted in her persona because, like, she's old, she's tired, she literally is staring at the head of her last, like, offspring. So you can see that this is her grandchild, meaning the rest of them are dead. Not necessarily because of this one person or whatever, but this is the last one. So she's but you can see that in her eyes, this is a Karuk, right? In her eyes, she's looking to taste flesh. She's done. But go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say, well, Clan Kuchibashi is with you.
She looks to you and you say that, and she nods and says, I think all of the South might have to band together in this, but I don't think anybody wishes to truly invoke their ire. Evoke.
I see.
I must excuse myself. There is much to see to now. Much to see to. And she'll turn and leave.
It super sucks for her clan.
And so she's gonna kind of go her own way. And you can see others are starting to disperse to go back. Allowing your characters to continue staying together or to also disperse yourselves. You can see that one of the guards here is going to end up collecting the head and bringing it to wherever it belongs to the northern clans to have the matter investigated. Unless there's anything that your characters can offer or try to do.
No.
Not now. No.
Okay.
Can't
Um,
really help out.
I will allow one thing to be rolled, but only because your character is somewhat investigative and whatnot, including Jake's character. You have Aurorum roll me a knowledge religion check.
Oh my god, he's a huge score.
He is a priest. Let's see. Are you satisfied with your 23, or do you want to try to get to that next tier there? And what's this +4 to Vroga specifically, or clans? Yeah, connected to Vroga. Okay. So you happy with your 23, or do you want to try to elevate that to the next tier?
Has it got anything to do with Virgo?
It's a good question. I can only answer that when I give you the response.
Do you guys want me to lock it or just leave it?
Does he-
Go ahead.
You've been using all the luck today. Go for it.
I
Whoa,
used
whoa,
one,
whoa,
buddy.
whoa, whoa! No! Jake, do not defend yourself against Cell in this endeavor.
I have used less luck than most people. I refuse to accept this. Okay.
Yeah,
I
this
think other
one
people have used
session.
more luck. I think other people have used more luck than me. Okay, someone can count it.
Chat. Who uses more luck in this campaign? Who is known to use the most luck individually in this campaign?
I always ask
Especially
the
on
group.
Kingdom Rolls.
Okay.
You don't ask, you just take.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
You
I always ask.
you verbally
I always
acknowledge and then click. Def Cell. The Viking
I
doesn't
think
lie.
I think there's a bias here. Okay. I think it's a bias. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm done. We can continue. Okay, no
Viking
point in
doesn't
doing
lie. Vikings from Australia, they haven't learned how to lie yet. They're still a novice nation.
it.
So,
Okay, so
I'm older than their independence, which is a weird thing to discover. Nick, you too.
so you got a 27.
It was in 1986. We're older than their nation. You know? Well, I should say older than when England acknowledged their independence. So, either way. He looks at it, kind of looks at the head and whatnot from a distance as it's being carried away, and also listens to what you guys were talking about beforehand, what other people are saying, and says, "This is a bit strange. This head, the way it sits there, it is shines of Drozam. Are you familiar with Drozam?"
She's becoming Karasa.
Okay.
In like real time. She's becoming a cat.
I hate Ramsey.
Varix is a little bit. Not majorly, but he is familiar with Drozan.
Freezing of a head. This is a pretty telltale sign.
So it's some type of religious killing then.
Do you think
An offering, maybe.
do you think
He
they have a
nods.
priest?
He thinks for a moment and shakes his head and says, "Perhaps, not entirely sure."
All right.
That'd be scary if they have a cleric.
Yeah, it would be.
I guess at that point we go our separate ways, right? I mean,
Yeah.
unless we want to gather and talk.
Okay.
I don't think I have really much to talk about at the moment.
So you guys are gonna go separate ways then, because Jake doesn't like any of you. He has more oysters to eat. He like stops by the table on the way out just to see if they're all gone, and he's like, "Ooh,
He just bags them.
yeah. Can I get these in a doggy bag?"
He puts them in his like pockets.
Well, they left that bowl behind when they took the head, and it's like chilled to the touch. I'll just fill it.
Oh no.
He's like, no, not for me. It's for my warlord. Ugh, can't even say words.
And this is Drazam.
Drazam, yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, that's scary.
Mm-hmm. So you guys do your own respective places to spend the night. You could, in theory, get more information this evening about what just transpired based off what's around you. So, Cell, I think there's a couple of crackheads sitting outside of your in room where you can probably walk up to them and be like, want to give me some info? I'll give you some crack. And the two of you have a slightly
Okay,
higher.
It's not that bad. Okay.
So, anyways, what do you got? What are your characters doing, or do you just want to sleep, spend the night?
No. I get the information I want. I want to figure out who this is, because if he's in the south, which is what we got told, this is like an actual problem that we need to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I also will send Aurorum to fetch Masumi to see if she knows anything, if she is available.
Remember, she's occupied with somebody.
Fair enough. If she's still with them, then no.
Keeping your enemies closer, eh?
Mm.
All right. And then it's going to be Sally, you're gonna go ask around. Nick, what are you doing?
I'll go back to my inn and I'll ask my friendly neighborhood stable hands because they seem to be on the up and up for everything. Yeah.
I don't think they would have much information beyond and I'll see what I can get for Cell because he would have more info. So I'll give you from them without you even needing to roll. That the red mongrel. Oh yeah, the red mongrel. They're a clan, if you even want to call it the clan. Well, that's not the name of the clan. That's just the name of the leader of the clan. He is the clan's name is Izan. Eisen. They are well, they don't really have a home. That's all I really know is that it's the Eisen clan doesn't really have a home, which is something that used to happen a long time ago, but doesn't really happen anymore. That's all we can tell you. By the way, it's been your move for 5 minutes. I don't know if you wanted to take it. You've been staring at the board for a while. I don't know if you wanted to. No offense, Warlord, but you are stalling in the game.
I'm going to take as long as I want.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, okay, I did. Who would be the person to ask? That would be my question for them. If I want to know about this person, who do I talk to?
Maybe some of the guards.
Good to know. Thank you.
So, where do you go and try to find information?
I go to the library that I have access to, and I ask the scholars that keep down all the notes of everything in the country. I'm sure.
It was weird that Jake earlier was glitchy as hell. Like his video quality dropped considerably. He was glitchy as hell and so on and so forth. And now it's Cell. I mean, two of you are fine.
I got the signal that my internet was unstable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Nick, you're probably up next.
So I go to the library, and the one I had access to before.
Mm-hmm.
And I will
ask questions. Sure.
Yeah, ask like the head librarian or like the person at the desk.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me that diplomacy check?
Where can I get information?
Roll me that natty one, baby.
It didn't happen the third time. We got a 21.
Do you want to? I mean, you could have used your Winifred's, but do you want to try to?
No, I'm saving that for the more important event.
Want to try to roll that to see if you can get a 4, get all the way up to that 25?
These guys should already be friendly. I rolled like a huge diplomacy check the last time I talked to them.
That didn't answer my question.
You know what? You know what? I will luck it. Okay. I will luck it. Okay. This is happening. I rolled the 1 on it. I got 22.
Chat, if you're looking at the screen, you see they have only 1 luck die. I just want you to think to yourself, I could give them Daddy's dice. I could give Scott Daddy's dice. It is of equal value and more entertaining when Scott has Daddy's dice. I think I'm going to give... Green's not here. There's no one to stop you. Green's not here. There's no one to stop you. All right. So, moving on. Sal, don't make me, get you in chat. Ban you in chat.
You already heard my mod, okay? From the last time you banned me. You can't take anything else from me.
And don't thank people for their pee-pee. It's weird. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Roz. Mwah.
I used the luck in spite of this, Viking. Okay, I use it because of that.
Oh.
But what do I find out? I'm assuming 22 is a good enough result for people that are at minimum neutral to me, but they're probably cordial already.
So you try to find out what you can find out about them. So it is Clan Eisen is what you do find out. And it's the chieftain, if you want to call him that, of Clan Eisen. He goes by several names. He's known as the Savage Knight, the Red Mongrel, the Black Warlord. But most importantly, his actual name is Odacer. It's Eisen Odacer. Sorry, I say Warlord Odacer of Clan Eisen. But Eisen is not a typical clan. Eisen is actually a clan. This is the insult that was thrown at Nick's character earlier. Is a roving. You can use the word tribe if you'd like, Tessa, like you did earlier. Roving tribe, a warlord that has no place that they immediately call home. They move throughout the plains and do as they please. They are incredible warriors. They have their own banner. They have their own cause. What their cause is, it's not entirely understood. You know that Odacer, the warlord of Clan Eisen, he happens to be a Goliath, a mountain man, a large person, right? And you know that he has a decent-sized clan that serves beneath him. Every one of them, more than capable of fighting. On par with how you can imagine the Karuk to the south are. Either way, so this is the clan that's there. They're known to wreak havoc because they serve nobody. Any information about them beyond this is something you're gonna have to discover as time goes, I guess, because y'all suck at rolling dice. But they are enemies to many. They've wreaked havoc because by hitting pressure points of the various different clans, they've been able to profit well, very well. I mean, they right now have this one clan that we were talking about beforehand. Kagong. So Kagong is now buckling at the knees at the might of them without even claiming war, without even directly claiming war. And here's the craziest part. Because they're a clan, air quotes, because they're an air quotes clan, they have no lands. They actually have no place that they directly call their home. They're not ever actively claiming war. They're not ever actively breaking the laws of Kajinksi. They don't have to adhere to the laws because they don't have an actual land. They're breaking all sorts of laws by fucking murdering people, sure, but that's stuff that everybody kind of deals with anyways. They can't declare war because they have no home to defend, so on and so forth. They're just a rolling nuisance that needs to be resolved, but there's no way to just pin them down. Anytime a group has come to attack them, they've either A, found empty camps with nobody about, or B, never returned. So they always seem to be one step ahead of the game for one reason or another. Some believe that he himself is like a chosen of Drazam to bring about, that eternal fight or like superiority, for just like physical might, right? And he is most active, or the clan is most active in the winter. That is where they really flare up. Not to say they don't do so other times, but the winter time is when you genuinely have to be concerned, especially if you're not home with your clan.
Yeah, this sounds like a. You know, like Kajik should have really dealt with this guy if they're fucking up clans when they call them all to the Scala.
Well, this is the most brazen thing they've ever done.
Okay. It's good to know. Okay, that's all I get?
Yep.
Makes sense. I guess I just return home.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll share this information with, my companions at some point.
Yeah, next day you guys are going to meet up together in the morning before the ball. The ball is going to be this evening, so this gives kind of like a day of relaxation. Mostly people are going to be doing prep work, whether it be like exercising, making sure the last tailoring is done, grabbing breakfast, whatever it is. The ball is this evening, but you have time to relax and then prepare for the ball as needed. So your characters can easily meet up with one another today. And in theory, the next day you can try to look into this a little bit more. Go ahead.
Did I figure out the bounty price?
It's a number that has changed so many times, it's hard to know. But most likely, whatever number you were going to find out last night doesn't matter because it's probably going to be updated today.
Okay, yeah. So we'll probably find out because there'll be some announcement ever or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Meet up with your allies.
I blurbed the information I've learned.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
No
the hard
problem,
work.
bud. I'm just doing you solid, gathering your information. That's what I'm here for.
It's actually a forte of his. Gathering information from other people and sharing it with everybody else.
True. That's what I'm best at.
Yep.
You know?
And he does so. He does so free of charge.
They call me Silver Tongue because I just spit silver out, giving it to people.
So funny. Anyways, you guys want to discuss this at all? Nick, your character has experience in what it is that he's describing.
What are you describing?
Roving tribes.
Roving
Clans.
tribes, yes.
Or as Tessa would say, the tribes.
To me, the only way to pen them in is we're going to have to bait them. We're going to figure out how they're selecting their targets and bait them.
Do you think it might be good for us to cooperate with other southern clans to show our goodwill and work with them to destroy this threat? It is not directly posed threat to us, but showing that we're willing to fight with the South against the threat. It might do us goodwill.
As long as we're careful enough to not leave ourselves exposed.
Of course. We'd have to make some pacts, maybe a temporary defensive pact, while it goes on.
I agree.
But this might also be a good way to show off our clan's strength.
It'd be ideal if we could lure them to Bach.
It seemed you had friendly enough relations last night.
Not Vosk, Bach. I want them to come to Hoko.
Oh, yes.
No,
The names are
Vosk.
too similar.
But Vosk.
Yeah. He meant Vosk.
Vosk,
Yeah.
sorry.
He said the
Sorry.
wrong one, yeah.
I did. Lure them
Wait.
into Hoko because he's surrounded by hills.
That's Vosk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because we come in, you've got Hoko at the city. We're surrounding him on three sides, and the only other exit is a hilly terrain.
It would be good of us to do such a thing. I agree. But who knows where they are?
Right.
But this seems like a problem that we have to discuss once we return home. Not much we can do planning wise, as he kind of looks around, and I guess like probably Varrix's room or something, or like because he has the closest place to the palace.
Agreed. We'd have to ramp up our mobility for forces. So.
My people are going to be slow, weighed down by armors.
I'll have to swell my light cavalry units.
No, but that could be a great bait. A slow army full of armor. A roving tribe would find that as good bait. No.
Well, yes, they'd lure you out of your city and then they'd ransack your city before you could get back to it. That's how these tribes work.
You know, I'll have to wait to ask my brother what he thinks of this and work with you on that. He knows more of the military mindsets. As you know, I'm not much of a leader of armies.
Anyway, like
No. It makes sense. Like, move on. I'm saying basically, I don't know what would be best for my army. My brother would know better.
No, we should work on that.
It comes with levels, okay?
Yeah, no, we'll have to hold a council.
Agreed. So for the ball, how does my clothes fit? Elias looked over it, but what do you two think? The perfume, how does it smell?
Pungent.
How long does the exotic perfume last?
The whole day or whatever.
Well, that one's not pungent, remember? It's like you have to be close.
I know.
Yeah. But okay. But I guess, I bring us to more of the discussion towards today, because if this is like the day of whatever you call it, right? The ball, this is like actually major important day.
I can't stand when people try to smell like their cologne over the smell of the nightclub, but aren't at the nightclub. So like, they pull into your driveway and all of a sudden you're like, and then the car door opens up and you're like, what is that? Then they walk up to your door. You're like, I should probably check and see if I got a pipe that's broken or something like that. Then the doorbell rings and you open the door and pass out. And 3 months later, you wake up in an ICU. You're on a tube and you're like, what the hell happened?
And
car.
A kidney removed?
Well, it's instant headache. Instant headache. But yeah.
Anyways.
Do we want to do the ball tonight? Or like, do you want to do something before it? Because it's going to be long.
It's a very long ball.
The left one.
We could do it in segments.
Okay. So if there's nothing else to discuss, I guess what's the entrance to the? I'm assuming we're entering like the what is the where is it taking place? Is it in like a palace, a castle?
So this is going to be the most grandiose one because it's meant to be like an indoor-outdoor extravagant kind of scenery. So your characters get yourselves prepared to go to the ball. The ball itself is, again, there's a degree of pageantry that happens here. But you don't want it to feel like, Cinderella being announced into, Prince Charming's, palace, right? But there is a degree of announcing that does happen. Go ahead.
I am Cinderella. I need the glass slipper. Continue, sorry. I never watched that movie.
Wait, which one?
Cinderella.
Which one?
Any of them.
Well, you've never seen any Cinderellas?
No. I know the plot, but no, I've never watched any.
Like, all jokes aside, you never saw Brandy as Cinderella?
I've never watched Cinderella, never watched Snow White, never watched Aladdin, never watched Beauty and the Beast.
Bro.
What else is there? That's
like some of those are really good, and some of those are trash.
Yeah,
like,
I can't think of anything else I haven't watched.
The recent remake of Cinderella, like the live action remake of Cinderella, is genuinely, it has a Helena Bonham Carter, plays as the fairy godmother. Like, is a genuinely good movie. Like, it's Aladdin, the cartoon, the first one, nothing else, is a genuinely enjoyable movie. Like, there's so many good ones in there. Then there are others where you're just like, oh boy. Like, you've seen The Lion King. The Lion King like had an impact on you, right?
Yeah, I've watched The Lion King.
Like, some of those will have an impact on you. They're just good.
I've only watched the movies that we owned, and we really owned only Lion King. So.
I mean, Lion King's really good. Like it's really good. So, but anyways, the live action remake was not good. Unfortunately, it was not good. So, and while I appreciate it, how and why they recasted all of the characters, the one person that, in my opinion, they really should not have recasted differently was Scar, just because Jeremy Irons' voice is just so iconic as that villain. Like, you kept Mufasa, you should have also kept Scar. Like, it's supposed to be the big good guy and the big bad guy. Those two should have been the same, and the rest of them, do with what you need. But anyways, that's a different conversation. Good point.
Yeah, I watched The Princess Bride. Okay.
RUSs? I don't believe they exist. That
reference went over my head though. It's been like 10 years or more than that, like 12.
The Three Dangers of the Fire Swamp.
I've watched it a long time ago. Okay. Maybe I do get kicked
How do you think you're safe? If I bring it up, I make one of the most basic references, and you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, there's the.
Yes, it's rodents of unusual size.
Yes. Yes. But who is just Googling that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I know, Diego Montoya, right? That's one that Inigo Montoya. My God. That's like the one I know. Okay, that's it. I know that reference. That reference is fantastic.
So you watched it in meme format?
I watched it in second or third grade. Okay.
I was probably a little bit older when I saw it. Yeah. No, you saw it younger, but I was a little bit older. I think I was probably 9. However, where grade 9 years old is. I think when I saw it.
It's a great film.
It's a really good movie, and Mandy Patinkin is a gem. Andre the Giant is awesome. Like, it's just such a good cast.
So we're entering this
a slightly lesser known fact was it never what is it? Never have a battle of wits with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Ha 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 ha. Oh, sorry.
No, I just love the quotes about Andre the Giant from the filming of that movie. I always forget his name, who played the lead character there.
Wesley. Hold
Wesley,
on.
yeah.
Carrie Hughes.
Yeah, Carrie Hughes. He was giving an interview about how Andre the Giant had like a 45-second fart on set, and literally all production stopped, and they just asked, they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Better now, boss."
That poor man. Have you ever seen any documentaries about like his health and well-being or anything like that, or no?
Well, beyond the fact that he would drink like 90 beers before getting on a plane. Yeah.
I mean, he was horribly abused. I don't mean just as a child. I mean, like, as a full-grown adult, a physical weapon. He would like go out to drink with his friends, and people at the bar would be cruel to him because they knew they could get away with it. Because, well, first of all, it's that little man syndrome. Like, it's a big guy, so make fun of him to feel good about yourself. But they can get away with it because if he did anything to them, they could sue the shit out of him. He had money and fame, or some money and fame. Obviously, he was taking advantage of his wrestling. Anyways, so he was like always depressed because his body was always in pain. He never felt like he fit in anywhere, of course. He never got to experience like true love with like a significant other or whatever it was. Like he just, again, was ridiculed by everybody constantly, if not to his face, then behind his back. He's just a person that was horribly depressed, which is why he would drink, no exaggeration, 2 or 3 30 racks in a day. And he was big enough he could pull it off. Like, he still holds the record for the most alcohol consumed in one sitting at what's the name of that place in Rhode Island, that really fancy all-you-can-eat place. Costs like $120 to get in.
Oh,
I've never been there, but I hear it's great to go. You know what I'm talking about, though.
They do crab legs. I forget what it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So he holds the record for the most eaten lobster, steak, and beer at that location. Because he's massive. But either way, so needless to say, he died young for a reason. He was physically abused and he had gigantism, whatever it's called, right? So poor fucking guy. Pity the man. But in that role, he was, oh my God, he was so good. He was so good.
Yeah. Way to bring that down to a low point. Thanks.
Well, he's a good man, or kind of was a good man. He's a complicated man. He certainly did some not good things, but product of your environment.
Speaking of not good things, does the palace actually look nice?
So, again, this place is a converted city that once belonged to Daelric, right? Which are the Dalelands, my apologies, which we discussed beforehand. So you're asking, did the palace look nice? It is important to note that, there was a legitimate castle here. So not a quote palace, but there was a legitimate castle here. Mm. So they have a castle that not only was converted, but expanded. So it is, absolutely massive. It is a ginormous place. Yes, sir.
No, I was just going to say, so instead of the 4 hexes, they got 2 extra hexes or squares.
Funny.
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
It's not clean though. It's like 3 hexes fill in, but then a random one over here and over here and over here. So it's 6 hexes, but sloppy. Yeah.
It's one corner of each piece and then an extra tendril on the, extra ones. So it's this.
Yep. Just poorly designed. So
unlike Jake's castle that's coming up soon.
This venue takes place a combination of indoors and outdoors. So when you come into the place, you're actually approaching from the outdoor section instead of the indoor section, right? So coming into the outdoor section, is that a huge archway, my apologies, that you guys go walking through to go into it. The archway is beautiful because it has, almost imagine kind of ice sculptures going up into it, but not actual ice sculpture because they didn't use magic to get the big ass chunks of ice perfectly positioned. Instead, they're chunks of ice put in areas that were kind of again sculptured into having these really nice looking icicles that also kind of look like weapons inside the area. But the weapons in the area are supposed to be symbolic of different important aspects of the Kajinksi culture, but it's crudely crafted. These aren't master craftsmen. It's look at this, it's a little axe. You know what I mean? It's very crudely done. You can see what they're going with, but it's kind of sloppy work. Either way, that's in the big archway kind of going over to showcase the walk in. When you go into the area, the whole place has this nice soft glow to it. Again, not magically done. The soft glow is because behind other chunks of ice that they have setting up almost like big wall sheets, they have torches and whatnot on the other side. Not immediately behind them. That'd be dumb. That would allow them to melt the ice way quicker. But it allows us to kind of diffuse the light through the kind of ice that they have in there, which they were smart enough to, however they did it, dye the water that was used, that they froze to cut into this these ice chunks to actually give off this really cool lighting inside the place that has these soft blues, soft greens on the areas. These I'm gonna say soft orange, but it's more like a reddish color than orange. So it's a burnt orange. So there's the kind of the colors throughout the place to really light it up with a nice, fun, warm kind of glow to it to give it this majestic look. In the middle of the area, there is a giant frozen spot where you can actually go and ice skates. Now, they don't offer actual ice skates. Instead, they have those metal blades that you attach onto the bottom of your boots or whatever it is that you're wearing to allow you to go and ice skate on there if you wanted to. Not something you take off your boot and put, I'm a size 3.5, thanks. Nothing like that. But it's able to be kind of crudely put on there so you can enjoy something, again, very extravagant and unusual for the Kara culture, right? Or at least as far as your characters in the South would know. Food, music, etc., etc., etc. Going into the actual castle area, this is not some extravagant ballroom. Going to the castle area, you can see on the walls all over the place are tattered banners of all the different clans that have been defeated over the course of Kajinksi culture. Every one of the clans that were defeated by this clan that is hosting, you can see that they're all up there on the walls, showcasing exactly how insignificant you are in comparison to them. So it's and on top of that, if there's let's say a particularly well-known warlord or whatever it is, if there's something iconic to them, whether it be a weapon of theirs, a bit of armor, whatever it might be, that would also be there with the banner to see not only did we defeat this clan, to have their banner to showcase it, but we took what we wanted from that clan because they belong to us now. So again, it's just really trying to showcase like the might of this particular clan. But it is still a big ballroom with a big like tiled floor that has like some well-maintained tiles. You can tell, for those of you that understands the multicultural aspect of that, this is these tiles, this room, all this stuff was put here clearly by the Dalelands before. This wasn't Kajinxi laid tile. Anyways, inside here, there's a separate type of music than what's going on outside. But there is definitely active music playing pretty much the entire time that you're there, allowing for people to actually do a small amount of dancing or just have ambiance to enjoy, so on and so forth. But most importantly, when the clans are kind of coming in, there's not so much of an announcement like, hear ye, or anything so overt like that, right? Instead, what it is that as you're going in, they wave your banner up in the area, and as you start walking into the outdoor area, as was previously mentioned, they actually have somebody raise your banner and walk with you. As you walk in the first like third or so of this big backyard area, they wave the banner over your head, showcasing who you are and the significance of who you are. And the same idea happens the first time you step into the actual inner area. They'll actually raise your banner up. So they'll actually kind of like grab where it is off to the side on a flagpole, and they'll like raise it up to show that you've entered into the area. After that first time, though, they don't do it again. That's it. That's just to showcase and show prominence and so forth for what you are. In this scenario, you're only allowed to bring yourself and a +1. You're not allowed to bring anybody else. Also, in this scenario, this is where you're going to be meeting with not only other clans, but dignitaries of other places as well. We had mentioned beforehand, what's her name?
Aaliyah's dad.
What?
Aaliyah's dad?
Aaliyah. So Aaliyah's father being here, somebody like that is actually going to be here for this event. This is where you're going to see people from all sorts of other places. And that's important because you also see their banners here. Yes, at some point in time, you see the Daelish flag risen in the air with Daelish nobility, or at least, what do they call it, emissaries, at this event. Because why wouldn't they be invited? As you will of, other nations or whatever, you also see representation of the Arcane Congress being here. You don't see the Perrin directly invited here. Now, you do see merchants of the Perrin invited here. And so merchants of the Perrin will have their own like family lines, kind of like, that sort of a thing. And almost like any other group of people that's a bitch to another group of people, they almost have like a Union Jack in the corner, kind of like a little Perrin flag in the corner of their family, because, they know their place is to be subservient to. But sorry, Jake. He was yelling at me in the offshoot. He was like, "You've been shitting on Australia."
I mean, you deserved it, okay?
I love you guys.
Okay. I have a question. Sorry, Jake, you can go first, though. You were going to say something. No? Okay.
I wasn't.
So, like, would I be known by the Arcane Congress, like, as these guys have an active relationship? Or because I know you described Lenny's relationship as, like, they kind of threw him down and stuff. Could Kajixi just be there? But, like, so if I talked to them, would they, like, recognize, oh, this is where we have this dude from?
Hard, maybe. So if you spoke to somebody who in the Arcane Congress whose responsibility it is to be aware of these kinds of things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then yeah, sure. Yeah, they would. But I mean, they're not going to know everything. You know what I mean? So, because like not everybody in the Arcane Congress gives a shit about you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because these guys are coming to Kajinxi, so they might know all the people they have in Kajinxi.
Maybe if there's that kind of dignitary or whatever it is of them, but they might have other responsibilities or so on and so forth, right? Wow, Viking.
This meme has gone on too long. Okay.
Wow. So anyways, when you come into this place, this is what you can kind of see. This is what's going on. Now you guys can rub elbows, speak to the other clans. We've already had some interactions with other clans. So I'm going to push on with other things that I want to showcase in a moment. But first, is there anything that your characters are looking for? Anybody particularly down here that you're hoping to have an interaction with, whether it be Throne again or Wolf Maw, who happens to be down here, Vok again. Anything like that? Any particular clans, or Nick, in your case, or any of yours, since you witnessed what happened with the head in the bucket, with Clan Kagong, or again, the other one there, the Zinquin. Any of these clans that your characters would care to interact with, or are we like good with this for now?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I want to do what I've been trying to do this entire time, which is like kind of stand out more, right? Present myself as very in fashion, right? But like also showing, I want to showboat a bit, right? I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? I bought all my shit, right? I bought the perfume. I bought all the outfits I need. So I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
So your clans are going to be represented individually by the three of you. It's not like you guys get to work completely together on this one. So that being said, this almost works like a skill challenge, right? For whether or not your characters are going to be able to garner some degree of conversation. After this big event, which we're going to get into the nitty-gritty in a moment, the successes that you have here, and kind of like the conversations that led up to this for the past 2 days work, or whatever it is, that's going to be whether or not other clans are going to sit down and actually have full-blown conversations, maybe organize trade deals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of like the important moment for you. Now, Nick, I understand that your character already is having some degree of diplomatic understanding with Vok. Sure, we get that. But other than that, there's really nothing solidified for any of you. So this is also going to be when you could start having a name, be seen, heard, understood, or whatever by one of the three northern clans, so that they can interact with you, right? So, I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll go. I'll start talking or spreading around how I have found a new type of wood that not only are we currently harvesting out of Eldamar, but we're also trying to create a grove directly in Kijinxi.
So, Nick's going first to make sure that if there happens to be any luck dice left in the luck pool, they happen to go to him.
I'm gonna fucking leave. Okay, you know, I'm not wanted here.
Oh, it's all right. According to Steve, I used them all. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, you know what? Steve is the unbiased source.
I don't know what your game you're watching, buddy.
I mean, Nick used them all, Steve? Come on. He's the one that's always yelling at Cell for using them all, unless that's deflection.
It could
It
be.
is deflection, okay? It's not true.
I could be.
Hi,
I
Joey.
need the most luck.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. So back to game. You have Nick, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna have 5 chances to really try to showcase or to deal with these clans, to try to start winning some over, make name for yourself, so on and so forth. Yes, you are allowed to use diplomacy. Actually, you're allowed to use a myriad of skills to try to showcase who you are, how you work, et cetera, et cetera. But in doing so, you can only choose to use any one particular skill twice, no more than twice. So everybody's able to look and try to really knuckle down and find those 3 skills they're going to use, or spread it out a little bit more, 5 skills. Understand that what you choose to use for a skill, and of course how well you roll with those skills, will impact how it is you're able to sway the other clans in the scenario, wanting to trade with you, et cetera, et cetera. So clearly for you, Nick, for instance, you're going to want to use diplomacy. It's a core skill of yours. And then you're also going to want to use probably profession warlord, because of your understanding of like the cavalry that people can have, the trading of commatory, et cetera, et cetera. What else are you going to try to use? Another hints for you guys, knowledge warlord is something that could be useful because it gives you an idea of who best to speak to. Like walking up to a warlord and not just necessarily knowing their name, which is a respectful and etiquette sort of thing to do, but more important than that, walking up to them being like, I understand that you're a busy person. I would like to have my, say, if you know the person they want handling this is their, what do you call it, the treasurer, be like, I'll be more than happy to have my emissary speak with your treasurer. So it's kind of like knowing how to go about the scenario. This is why we bring our +1s. Our +1s are able to help us in this. You can actually even have one of you, the person you bring with you, they can provide aid if it's something that they're trained in or skilled in doing, or which obviously you brought your girlie here for a reason there, Sel. Or they can even supplement you. They can make a roll for you if it's a skill you think is necessary for them to roll that's better than what you roll. It's like, for instance, Jake's like, I suck at everything. You know, I'm not good at anything here, but I want to make sure that the Karak are a very religious group of people. Maybe if I can play to the heart of that, and so he uses Aurorum to make a religion check instead of himself. So you brought a +1 to be able to bounce off of to do this sort of a thing. They are the whisper in your ear and a second voice for you. So everybody take a moment to look it over. Nick is going to be the first to go. Nick, you can tell me what the 5 skills are, or even just type them in chat real quick so you don't forget them, whatever it might be. And we'll play through it. And these rolls are contested.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, I think I'm good to go. I think I picked everything.
Yeah, I think for me, it's diplomacy, profession warlord, and knowledge warlord.
Okay. Now, like I said, they are contested. The last thing I need you to decide for me, once you kind of like have those figured out, is who it is you're trying to make these kind of deals with. Like, for instance, with Nick, I think you're predominantly really focusing on the northern clans. You have a very unique material that you can offer to them. And so I think you're trying to predominantly do trade with them there. Cell might be doing the same thing, wanting to focus more on those middle to northern clans for what he's able to offer here. Jake, on the other hand, doesn't really have anything that he produces that offers to northern clans. Maybe he's looking to actually have an impact on the more of the southern or middle clans, you know? So kind of like have that in mind, because that does affect the DC. The further away they are, or the bigger they are, it does impact things. Now, this is not a clan to clan diplomacy check where the DCs are ridiculously high. Do you remember how those diplomacy checks work in the little spreadsheets there? They're insane.
You need a min-max diplomat for those to even be functional.
Correct. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's not quite that high, but let's be serious. These negotiations are not meant to be easy. These are going to be very difficult. So with those disclaimers, those understandings, and those requests for information, we go to you first, Nick. Nick, what is it you are trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to identify who the best trade partners would be. For lumber and for commatory breeding.
So you already know from your previous conversations, I think IRL 3 weeks ago, that it's going to be one of the northern clans. I think the middle one is the one that you decided was going to be one of the best ones for you to try to sell your resources to. So it's probably who among them to maintain some degree of relationship with, have conversation with, so on and so forth. You've met them before, or at least to some small degree of that. But this is your opportunity to really get those elbows rubbing, to really make sure that you have a lasting impression that they want to meet with you, you know, beyond what was done, right? Cool? Understood? Awesome. So I believe you're trying to roll a knowledge warlord check. This is not an easy roll. If anybody has any Winifreds, make sure you remember to use them on the check that you care to use them for. And don't be afraid to roll luck. Well, Nick, 3 is your number. That's your number. It's the syllables in your name. Nikolai. You know? No, it's E. coli with an N.
I'm so ready for this diplomacy roll. I'm gonna roll.
So with your 15 knowledge warlord check, unfortunately you're not able to kind of like discern who the best person or what the best approach is. to do this. You think you have a pretty firm understanding from the conversation you had before, but unfortunately, you're not able to kind of like glean what is definitively the best option. That's okay. You know that you're going to deal with the northern tribes, preferably the central one, to try to rub elbows with them. How is it you're going to go about rubbing elbows with the persons that you think are important? And it's not like there's just 2 members of this clan here. There I hate intermixing clan and tribe. Clan. Cool. It's like there's just 2 people from this clan here. First of all, it's the ruling fucking clan. You're in their home. Almost everybody here is of that clan. That being said, all 3 northern clans have many people here. Continue, Nick.
Sure. One of the ways would be to see if anybody was up for a game of Marauder and Meat.
Ooh. Okay. So obviously we'd have things like this out in the outdoor area, probably with like that kind of burnt orange lighting kind of spot, where they have like a little table set up that you can have that. All right. So you're gonna go and try to kind of challenge one of them to have this interaction. As you're saying beforehand, this is kind of like a separate skill in and of itself. It's like what did we call those before? Lore checks.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because you're still just getting the fundamentals, and you want to show interest in kind of like the conversation you can have during the play, the challenge itself. It's not necessarily winning the game. You're clearly going to come off as a novice to anybody who is intermediate or mastery, right? There's no getting around that. So what skill were you looking to do this with? The
probably profession.
Yeah, exactly. Because that impacts that in theory in the future. Okay. Again, this is not a direct use of the skill. This is a sub use of the skill. So these numbers aren't 1 for 1. It's a pretty good number. Looking at a 26, again, that's not for 1 for 1. It's more like a -10 scenario. You know what I mean? Because you're working off of a sub skill. So seeing it as somewhere between a 21 and a 16. Did you want to luck this or?
Yeah, I'll luck it.
Do it. Oh, huge. That's a minimum of 20. Let's go.
The person that you interacted with, you lost every game. But one thing that happened, like whereas the first game you played them, you lost pretty quickly. They actually went in a little too cautious in case you knew what you were doing. But once they realized you didn't really know how to play that well, they dismantled you pretty quickly from there. But in the second game that they played with you, because for them it was fun. I haven't played this kind of a novice in a long time. This is fun. I'm going to go for it a second time. The second time you play against them, don't get me wrong, they beat you. But you did not fall for the same traps you did for the first time. You recognized a degree of their technique and so on and so forth, and were able to move your pieces, manipulate the board in such a way that you were not defeated the same way. It took a little bit more trickery of them to do it. They challenged you to a third game. And in this third game, again, they did defeat you. And it's one of those things where no matter what, they eventually would have defeated you because you lacked the skill to be able to beat them. But once again, it required them to utilize new tactics, new techniques. They even tried to be playful and go back to some of the techniques they used in the first round to see if, because it was a little bit removed, because of how much time it takes to play each game, that you might not notice it, but you continue to notice it each time. It showed the keenness of your mind and the promise of your ability as a future player to be able to constantly build off previous technique. And they actually give you compliments as such, saying that you seem to be a natural, just very late to the table, and that you should dedicate some of your time into learning this, because who knows, maybe one day you'll learn how to play. Again, kind of like clearly an insult, but that's Kajiksi. That's corrupt culture to be insulting, but at the same time was meant to be a compliment as well, right? So it was very much like a situation where they were able to respect your tenacity and intelligence, even if not your skill. Cool. What was your third technique?
Good question. So going in here, Marauder and me, and then just general diplomacy.
This is kind of like turning the tables on them while chatting. Okay.
Yeah.
Diplomacy. Poor Nick brought Zara. He's like, she does nothing.
She commands.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rah.
You will dance with me? It'll be great.
What's your dex? 10?
Jake, we already know what one of your rolls is.
I have pointed dance too.
Remember, I don't have to roll. It was part of the fortune's favor.
I know. Oh!
Huge numbers. Let's go.
Oh, Nick! That's wonderful. Any way you can or care to modify that? Are you rocking that 25 flat?
I'm rocking it. And, yeah.
The way that backhanded compliment worked, and again, just the way that you took the compliment and gave your own kind of sparring response back. You know what I mean? Like almost one of those like if I had a competent teacher, perhaps that I could, just again one of those like playful sparring things. You end up building a rapport back and forth. We actually start talking about like how it is that somebody with no training could even get here, and you talking about your time in the hills and whatnot. Actually, you're talking about your time as being like a roving warlord. They actually will straight out ask you, do you as a roving warlord, did you ever encounter or are you familiar with Odysseus the Impaler?
I'm guessing that's a knowledge warlord check.
Well, that's actually the red mongrel as well.
Okay.
So,
that's the name I didn't get.
Because you knew Odysseus before, so your character's smart enough to kind of put two and two together on that one, right? So, the answer for you would be a flat no.
Yeah. Unfortunately not. Yeah.
They shake their head and say, well, your experience on the fields is something that might be helpful to you. Do you think you yourself or your clan would be interested in resolving that problem once and for all?
I actually do think that this situation needs to be resolved. It's one thing to be a roving clan, right? You need to build power and claim land for your own and expand Kijinksi. But to just wander pillaging while warlords are away, there's no honor in what this what this red clown is doing. Unfortunately, mobility is the main asset for these kind of tribes. So the only way to really corner them is we're going to have to bait them and pen them in, and then kill them to a man.
It is said that Odysseus is a brilliant tactician. The reason why he has not been captured as of yet, or why some never even clash with his elite soldiers on the field, is because they are always several steps ahead of any attack. They predict, before the decision is even made, what the next step of their opponents will be. It's frightening for anybody who wishes to go up against them. Some actually see Odysseus as being a blessing. Some people actually have this belief that he is sent by Drazam. As we say in Kijinksi, the winter culls the weak and allows the strong to flourish. You don't want the weak to continue to infest the next generation with their impurities. So the winter, as unforgiving as it is, will cull those weak, similar to the hard work in the summer, collapsing those that can't handle it. People believe that he was sent here by Drazam himself to cull the weak, which is why he takes the pickings that he does.
Well, if you want to cull the weak, have them spend an afternoon in Eldamar.
I'll actually laugh to that, and that will transition conversation over to commerce. We're able to talk about the woods and Eldamar. I hear that you've been, and you kind of bring things that way. So far, you've already rolled your knowledge warlords. Didn't really succeed, but luckily you came across somebody to work with, just nobody that gave you a rolling success. You actually rolled well with your profession warlord, so even though you've lost the game, you're able to maintain respect. And with a second success in a row of diplomacy, kind of like getting conversation going well between the two of you, you're actually now starting to build momentum. You have a +2 on this next roll. What's your next roll?
Oof. So we're going into commerce. We're just talking about that. I think we're gonna start. We're gonna ride diplomacy again because of the general topic. So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. This will be the second last use of diplomacy. Ooh. Now you got a +2, as you know, unless you already incorporated it.
I did.
Okay, so that's a 24. Do you want to luck it to automatic hit that 25?
I don't think we have any luck left. So
You can try to see if you can make me happy with that awesome little emote.
I'll do it just for you.
So, you get that 25. Conversation actually goes very well in your favor. You've garnered 3 successes at this point, maintaining a +2 for the next and final roll that you make. So, conversation is going very well. They're intrigued at the different types of wood and whatnot that you have there. Or, in theory, your ability to collect a significant amount of wood and potentially transport it because you're working on transportation lines as it stands right now. And maybe they can even work to set up those lines with you. This is all about trade edicts and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, that's funny. If you want, I can ban him in chat. So, are you not a mod right now, Sel?
You banned me, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sel. Oh, let me.
I've been banned for I haven't been a mod in forever.
You're mod.
I get mod view now. Let's
there you
go.
Sorry, Sel.
I get the better view. Let's go.
All right,
That's right, Viking. That's right.
I should totally switch it so that chat also has a bit of a delay, like a 5-second delay for when those occasional bad bots show up. You know what I mean? Especially right now, and I suppose, though this by no means am bragging because that would be fucking gross. But I am fortunate enough that I don't have to deal with some of the shit that's been going on Twitch lately. But unfortunately, there have been some fucked up people doing some crazy bad things lately. So having any safeguards from that is a good idea. But I am not the target of that stuff. Terrible people. Twitch really got to get their shit together. Anyways, moving on. Where were we? So yeah, so you actually able to build on success. So does the final roll that you're able to do in this scenario.
So probably I'm going to use Profession Warlord to just kind of leverage the whole thing in a way that I think all corrupt could understand is how this lumber trade will improve military might for all of the clans and for Kajinsi as a whole.
I also imagine talking about the securing of the trade route itself and the viability of utilizing, mounted warriors along the great expanse that they'd be traveling is how going to be successful, is going to be effective, right? So yes. Profession Warlord for your final roll. You go right ahead, sir. By the way, Snaga, thank you very much. Sorry, I just wasn't interrupting conversation, but you're crazy, and thank you, sir.
It's another +2, correct?
Si, senor.
You said 6. You said 6 skills.
Can Zara assist me with this before I
thought it was 5.
Is it 5? Okay.
She's proficient in it, so absolutely she can. She's actually your lead go-to person, so she can definitely roll to aid first. And don't forget, you have a +2 from your rolling successes.
All right. So does she get that +2 as well?
My apologies. What was that?
Does she get that +2 as well? Probably not.
No. She rolls flat to add to you. Well, technically, she gives you a +2, so that's good.
I'll take it.
So that means you have a total of a +4. Mm-hmm.
I believe in you, Nick.
I don't. I know you bomb and you're.
Oh, I did, but that's all right.
Well, hold up. You have a
50% chance.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hit the like button, Nick. Hit it.
Am I going to use the last of the luck again?
Oh, womp womp womp. And
Now I
just
can truly say Nick uses all the luck. Okay.
hold on,
Prove it.
Nick. I want to be
Live.
clear. I want to be clear. Fucking sell. I want to be clear. Did you add all of your modifiers, including do you or Zara give any abilities that increase the modifiers provided?
Oh, let me check Zara.
Sell, you're a joke.
True.
Oh, I missed the true.
I still do it. When you're spitting facts, you're gonna hear the true. Okay.
Do you want to hear something funny while he's looking that up? I'm an idiot. You already knew that. At a small zoo near where I live, there's an area that shows like how far animals jump, and so I like to do either like a running jump to see how far I can go, or a standing jump to see how far I can go. Which, by the way, a standing 2-foot jump and like launch myself as much as possible, plant feet. It's like 11 feet or so. Wait, hold on. No, it's wrong. Sorry, 11 was running. It's 7 feet is how far I can jump. Yay, cool. So I did that so many times yesterday that not only did the jumps hurt, it literally hurt all the way up to my shoulder, down my arm, into my hand. So my like right here was in pain for 5 minutes after the jump because of how much it hurt because of how hard I landed. Anyways, driving to and from work today, I was borderline in tears because my quads were in so much pain from that stupidity. Like, have any of you ever hurt your quads? You know, Jake, when you're working out, like you're really pumping that iron and you go to drive the car and like your foot hurts. Like you move your foot and your quads. So you know what I'm talking about.
Especially if you haven't done it for a while. Or
right?
Like that type of stuff. It's really painful.
That actually makes you do you guys drive on the left or right side of the road?
Left.
Left side? Do you drive with your right foot or your left foot?
Right.
Okay, yeah. Because we drive on the right side of the road. We also drive with the right foot. So I just wasn't sure. Because I would imagine, because I for some reason in my mind, the pedal was on the right-hand side because it was more central to the car. So I kind of thought, oh, yours would be on the left side because it'd be more central to the car. But I guess that doesn't matter. Slightly longer pipe or whatever.
I mean, I imagine the right foot's just typically more of the dominant foot. So it's more people are going to use it more effectively or whatnot.
Manual versus goofy or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, no, that's it.
All in? Only got a 23?
I mean, still good roll. So.
Oh, does Nick have an ability that allows you to re-roll? That's what Joey's asking.
Don't think so, no.
Okay. So you're able to garner 3 successes, 3 big successes in this scenario with one of the northern clans. So, of course, the DC's higher, right? So they tell you, kind of like the conversation ends, they say, I'm interested in what it is you have to offer. I want to have your people put together a strategy, map it out. What path would you take to come to us? What methods would you use? Map this out, and perhaps we can talk about cost and how it would be paid for. And so, more or less, they're inviting you to the table to a trade edict, to set things up with them to actually be able to potentially do trade. If you're ever able to actually truly link up a trade with them, in case any form of, like, imagine taking 5% of what they have to offer. Either way, moving on. So they're interested and they want to see where things go. You can finish this conversation, Nick, in game the next couple of days before you leave here to see where your characters can kind of get things settled out, right? You get it, cool. Which character wants to go up next? And the last one we'll have to save for next week.
I'm ready to go. Okay, I got a shit ton of bonuses.
Cool. Jake, then you get to...
Buddy,
No.
I was ready to go. You think you
What?
can just,
No,
just
said it-
steal
I said it
all the
first.
things as usual, just like... Thank you,
I
Scott.
said it first.
I'd be more than welcome to go.
All right, cool. So,
No,
excuse me. Hold on. We'll leave this to chat, okay? We're going to make this a poll.
I said it first.
No. We're going to leave it. We're going to make it a poll.
I don't want to forget.
Chat gets to decide.
I haven't
who
hard the
is
stage.
next. Here we go.
Oh, this is unfair.
Start speaking Daelish. Oh, I speak Daelish. I'll just
I
take over
speak
the
Daelish
conversation.
too. I speak Daelish. How about that?
Just a throwback.
I'll stop speaking. Oh, okay. Listen.
Just a throwback.
Listen, I didn't know you spoke Danish, okay? And you know what? I'm better at diplomacy, okay? In character.
True.
Okay. Are you ready? We're going to go ahead and do a vote. It's going to be 1 minute vote. 1 minute vote. So if you're voting for 3-4, just vote for 3. Ignore the 4th option. That's just me finishing explaining the 3rd option. Right? Ready? Set? Go.
3rd option, just cancel stream now. I gets the reroll, but Jake takes an auto -5.
What the hell, Scott? All right, I need to start spamming my 123,000.
Oh, we can't vote. This is hey, don't vote.
I won't know if you vote or not unless you happen to use the most points. I love the idea of Nick re-rolling and rolling worse. He rolls a natty 1.
That is very likely to happen.
I want to show off my amazing modifier. Okay, it's so good.
Oh, look, Cell, the guy who wears a crown, wants to show off.
I have
Big surprise.
It's gonna be so. There's been so much planning.
Wait, why dang bits?
Look, the what is it? The Densho
So everybody, last second
has
vote.
been
Last second
foreshadowed
vote.
ages ago. All right.
It's tied.
Ooh, it's
What does that mean?
tied. That means nobody loves you, Cell.
I know. I spoke first.
I love that nobody voted for me taking an auto -5. Thank you, guys.
No, the
No,
auto
no.
take,
Yeah.
the part of Nick gets a reroll.
Yeah, that was all part of it.
The part of Nick gets a reroll.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I feel like, Jake, I'll take that auto -5 on that first roll if I go first.
On.
The modifier's that high, buddy. All right.
I will take
Auto -5 doesn't mean anything.
it. It'll be a high modifier. I do agree.
Oh, I meant that as bits. I am so sorry. I did not mean that as bits. That's why I mentioned the bits thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought that was Daelric Pop. I'm so sorry. This one is the tiebreaker, but Daelric Pop, not bits.
You had to do
No, that was so.
Phone.
I wrong click. It's 2 things right next to each other. I'm so sorry.
You have to revote then from the
Okay.
beginning. Okay. Unfair.
There you go.
I ain't taking no penalty. What are you talking about?
That's how it goes.
No.
That was the original vote. Listen, you're only leading by. Oh, the lead is gone. The lead is gone.
That is dodgy as. You can't make me take a -2 my already +2 skills, buddy.
Don't
right?
be mean to the Ashen Orc. Guys, don't forget, Jake already has a trump card. Sorry, a fortune's favor in his lead here. So don't feel too bad.
That is
Don't
true.
feel too
Don't feel
bad.
bad.
That is so
this is
dodgy.
stolen
I
from
have
me.
never seen such dodginess
spoke-
in a campaign before.
Yes, you have. You've watched all my campaigns. All right, Jake wins.
I'm so sad. I was so ready.
Oh, Viking. We call that nationalism right there. We call that nationalism.
I'm gonna go cry in a corner.
Shout out Stephen Bradbury.
Yeah,
again.
the
Thank
vote
you.
was stolen. Okay, Joey would have won me the vote if we had
Hold up.
votes.
He did 60, 75 votes.
I spoke first. Okay, Viking. This was stolen from me. Stolen election. Okay.
Go and cry, Sal. Awesome.
I will go cry. Okay, because it was gonna be cool as fuck. The numbers I was gonna.
And now
roll,
you've got next week to really steal the focus.
no,
right?
no,
It's
just
just
not the same.
you.
Nope. How, Jake? You deserve the most time alone, so you could speak. Okay, because you don't talk enough. Give me the least amount of time. Okay. Reverse it.
All right, somebody clip that and remember to bring it up every time Cell starts talking heaps.
It's not my fault my NPCs talk, okay? Yours are all scared of you, okay?
You got me there.
So speaking of stealing focus,
Since we spent on the road.
Since we spent so much time focusing on who should go next, I think we unfortunately ran out of time this session. So I think we're gonna have to wait before the.
Let Jake start growling, okay? So I can be salty.
So we're gonna have to save both of them for next week. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm so salty.
Even Joey's saying no roll. He gets it.
No, he's saying no roll. Okay.
I don't see punctuation saying that. No. I think we have to.
I'll take the dodgy rolls for you, Sel. All right.
Nick, don't you think
you get the better one?
Don't you think we should wait till next week?
Oh, next week sounds good. I want Jake to have a good amount of time. And who really wants to start the session off with Cell talking for 2 hours? So
you know what I'm saying? I should have rolled tonight. Agreed. We all agreed.
All right, I'm just teasing. Let's actually get this done right now. And you can't refund Daelric Pop.
Joey, it's impossible. Calling you out big time.
you unfortunately you literally cannot refund Daelric Pop because Daelric Pop's just a thing that's on there. It has no value. That's funny. Same people anyways.
True.
So just means you get screwed twice.
Yeah, I feel screwed 3 times.
Well, I mean, you're welcome. So
you're paying for it. I didn't think that was legal.
Oh, it is.
It's masochism, okay?
So Jake, sir, who are you trying to win over?
The Southern clans.
In what way?
I don't have anything to offer trade-wise or things like that. I just would. Varix is trying to enjoy himself, so I don't know. Drink with them, talk with them, I don't know, brag, whatever. Just general camaraderie.
Intimidate them.
Maybe. Who knows?
So you're more or less trying to build up allies, like working towards the idea of maybe having embassies or something like that with these other people. You're trying to make friends, not trying to make money.
Yep.
You're like clan Densho is above such things like needing money. I just want to hug.
We've got Shadow bankrolling us. So we're all right.
And maybe not anymore, you know? Out of game salt, okay?
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, you can go ahead and so what's the first skill you wanted to roll?
Warlords, obviously, because I gotta see who I'm talking to and stuff like that. Know a bit about them. Aurorum, can he assist me?
He can't. Is he trained in knowledge warlords?
Yes.
Okay, he can. Same idea. They can't help you with all of the checks. They can help you with 2 of the checks.
Oh, they can't help me with all of the checks?
No, they can help you with 2 of them. So just be mindful of which ones you want assistance with. I think Nick only used 1 aid. He wasn't able to really use it. She couldn't like whisper over his shoulder how to play the game. So he kept that one to himself. That would have been awkward.
Okay then. What was I using again?
Though in the legitimate chess tournaments, you actually you often do have friends that assist you.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, so he will assist me with this one.
Dude, we saw that one, and it was like, whoa. All right, so he got a 15, which gives you a +2.
+2, all right. See if we can roll anything decent.
Rolls a 1.
A 15. Well.
Can't even really luck beyond that. I mean, you can. It's not like it's 15s and 20s are exactly the numbers. So you are welcome to luck it if you want to try to enhance it in any way.
No.
Because remember, these are the southern tribes.
Yeah. I don't think we have any luck, so no.
Okay. So you if you don't think you have any luck, that's when you can press the button just to find out.
Yeah, well, there's probably more important roles coming up.
I can't ban him in that chat. So you So you're looking around at which of the clans that you want to have conversation with, which ones would be the most effective. It takes you a little bit of time to decide who you want to have the most impact with. The problem is, most of these southern clans, the ones that you're interested in, they weren't invited to this. A lot of the clans aren't even marked on my little map that I have down here because, let's be honest, they only own like 1 hex or 2 hexes. Clans that are marked on my map for the double map have to have at least 4 hexes for them to be noteworthy, right? So you look at the one that you guys had defeated beforehand, Vosk. Vosk had what, 5 hexes, I think, originally, right? And look how quickly they fell. Anyways, so looking about, you're having a hard time finding anybody really noteworthy. The most noteworthy one talking to was Kagong, and then just kind of chiming into whatever conversations that they were having with others. Kind of like inviting yourself in. You know what I mean? So as you go join that circle, the big kids sitting at the kids' table, you don't really identify who many of them are either. But luckily you have enough clout that you can kind of force your way through the conversation. They're always willing to introduce themselves to the Ashen Orc. All right, continue.
Next one will be a religion check, and that will be made from Aurorum, because you said we can have them make checks.
No, did not say that. Kadong.
All right, so that's fine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
Kadong.
Nice.
Well, somebody's bringing fire.
Somebody has to. He's probably talking about how we've probably got the monastery of the broken chain or whatever, but we're currently building like a temple to Vroga and all that stuff.
Of course, and Vroga could easily be a part of the conversation. You are in Kajinksi. Assuming Vroga is a essential part of the conversation, which again is pretty clear there, I imagine it's a rocking a 33. Would you want to modify that to see if you can get a 35?
No, 33 is fine.
Okay. So anyways, you with your 33 are absolutely making all sorts of connections. Like, knowing that even if he doesn't know specifically the clans, when they start talking about a bit of their own faith, he's like, oh, you're of the blah, blah, blah faith. Of course, I'm very familiar with that. I got well-versed when I was meeting with, oh, you know him. Oh, that's right. Oh, you know them too? Oh, I see they are somebody that, and they kind of like working through conversation that way. And kind of like really causing ties together and building things up in a very positive way. So even though you didn't really know who the fuck you were talking to, Aurorum was able to slide in here and offer a significant amount of assistance to you in the form of kind of like religious ties between the different states, right? What is the next thing you're working on, sir?
All right, so magic isn't really common with the southern clans, right?
No.
So can I do a spellcraft?
Spellcraft would be literally like fiddling with raw magics as opposed to knowledge arcana, which is information that you know. So what are you trying to do with your spellcraft?
I don't know. It's not common. I want to demonstrate power I have.
Sure. Trying to be like, ultimate cosmic power, itty bitty living space.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'll have Aurorum, also demonstrate that when Densho have people that can use it, so he will assist me if that's possible.
Aurorum assist you in what? The
spellcraft.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second to answer that one. Densho, advisors. Aurorum. I think he might assist you.
He's trained in it.
Yeah, no, I know. Give me 1 second. Did you already use this recently? I think he did, didn't he? Being around.
Yeah. I used it just to get hold of Masumi. Discreetly.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, I think
He
that's.
has multiple
I think
uses,
it's fine. I think I'll let him assist you on this one. That's fine. Go ahead.
Alright, so I'll roll for him to assist first.
I was looking at his other abilities.
Where is it?
Rolled trash.
Does assist though.
It gives you a +2.
I'm gonna use my Winifred's as well.
Oh, Winifred's. You ain't got no Winifred's.
Yes, I do. I've been saving it, buddy.
Does she have an expiration
do
date?
I get any, because I succeeded on the last check, do I get any modifiers to this?
You've only succeeded on one check so far.
Alright, so nothing. Alright. So let me add these modifiers in. And I'm gonna roll twice. Thanks.
Why?
Because I have an ability that lets me do that.
What ability?
Inspired, I think it is.
Bloop it. Nick, do you feel inspired?
Inspired by salt.
It gives Jake a -5.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Roll twice to the better result with skill check once per day. That's why. Okay.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see if I can do half these.
Once per day, he can have advantage. Don't humans get that? Pretty sure there's an ability that gave humans that in 5e. Maybe it's a feat. It's
I mean, there's a lucky feat.
no, something else. So does that incorporate the +2?
Yep.
So you have a 22. Did you want to try to modify that to make it better?
I will, but I don't think we have any luck. I'll try.
Boom. So that gets you up to a 24. No other modifiers, nothing else, nothing else tickling you?
Nope, I don't think I have anything else.
No, not having luck. I don't mean that. I mean, there's a human, I think, feat that gives you the ability to once a day just get a reroll. Oh, no, I think I'm confusing that with something else. Never mind, I know exactly what I'm confusing it with. I know exactly. Well, holy shit. I cannot believe I confused it with that. That's hilarious. Okay.
So 24.
All right, so 24. So clearly you're putting on quite the display. I mean, you have the ability to, eat your mushrooms and get really big and stuff like that, right? So, but I imagine you're not doing necessarily something quite that ostentatious. I imagine you're doing just like other displays of power and might, whether it be like visual effects or audible or whatnot, just any displays of power that you might be able to have. Really kind of captivating them. Okay, so now that you've kind of discovered who you think you should talk to, but then capitalize on that, having Aurorum pull their attention into you, utilizing the conversation of religion, and then really not only is it just about the faith of what's his name, Vroga, but how more or less the Ashen Orc is like a chosen of Vroga, in some ways believed to be that way, given a temporary eternal youth, right? I know it sounds weird to say, but a temporary eternal youth. I don't know if there's a better way to phrase that. They also give you like incredible powers that's getting captivating to almost all of them. Actually, it also captivates the eyes of the Arcane Congress that come over and kind of view what it is that you're doing as well. That being said, what's the next thing you do?
We'll intimidate now.
Okay.
Off the back of the magic. Yeah. Saying how, I don't know, good we are, I guess. Just talking shit.
Yeah, but it's not quite longevity because he just literally doesn't age. But either way, keep
So
going.
we'll do that. Do I get any pluses yet?
Yeah, you get a +2.
Successes?
+2 for rolling success.
Alright, so I'll do an intimidate now. Hopefully this will succeed. Fuck. Well, it wasn't a 1.
Does that incorporate the +2?
Yep.
Is there anything else you can do in this matter?
I can rage.
Technically speaking, I mean, you didn't say it first, but I know you're saying off the back end if you're using your magic. In theory, you could have enlarged persons. You could rage. You do all sorts of things like that.
You can have blood rage?
I want to say that it forces you to re-roll, but I also like the idea of forcing you to keep that too because you didn't say it first. So I don't know. Chat, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think we should have a vote.
Decision on that.
I think we should have a vote on this one. Okay. The 1 minute vote.
You know what, Jake? Continue sucking up all those pattern rolls, okay? Can't wait to roll that nat 20 on my first roll. Hit a 50 on my number, okay?
Well, unlike you, I don't wish you bad luck. I wish you good luck, and I hope you succeed.
I hope you do. You know, listen, I can have a little salt. Just this once.
Okay. Here we go. 1 minute vote.
For a while.
1 minute vote. You guys are able to go ahead and start the poll. Daelric pop, not bits, to be clear. Jake, hands up, please. Sell. You cheat over
You
there?
can tell if I'm.
Sell is totally voting. Sell is totally voting.
Hey, you never said I couldn't.
Oh my god, Sell is totally voting.
You said it to 5 daily pops, which is crazy.
Wait, did I really?
Yeah.
5, not 500?
Yeah. So that's
How many
on you,
votes
Doug.
could I get with 123k then?
I'm the only one that voted for make him keep it. Well, we already know the outcome, so let's keep going. You can re-roll when you rage. Does that make you more intimidating? Does that actually do anything there? And being large size does give you a +4.
Does that add to your charisma, your blood rage?
It does not, but it will allow me to do something else.
Okay.
Alright, let's hope I don't get a 1 now. I roll with a 1.
Yeah, I mean, only 5% chance of getting worse.
Where is enlarged? So you said it's plus what for being enlarged? Shot?
+4.
4. Okay, I
Quadro.
didn't have the thing up.
Corte.
Oh. All right.
Your whole 1 vote mattered, LD, okay?
Oh!
That's, oh my god, how many ones this session? 1, 2, no, 1,
Joey,
let's see, 2, 3,
I can open mouth you right now, baby.
4, 5 nat ones? Not a single nat 20? This is, oh my god, this is the bad seed. Oh my god, today's the bad seed, boys.
No matter what I do, it's still a critical fail.
You know what we should do? We should resolve your critical failure next week. That way Nick can go to bed because he looks really tired and it gives me a way to think of something sinister by opening my DMs and seeing what Joey suggests for it to happen to you for that critical failure.
Oh my god, he blood rages and he starts like just destroying like the tables and the nice like icicles.
And somehow this fortune's favors into the Densho dubstep.
And he starts dancing.
Oh.
I just want him to start like yelling and breaking into song like David Bowie in the Labyrinth, and that's how it all kicks off.
Tessel backs him up and starts dancing with him. I practice dance with Pete.
How does that song go with the baby in it?
You remind me of the babe the babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Yeah, it's great.
Oh god. Oh, that's awesome. Oh
god, what's the dice rolling in chat?
well, you know what, Jake, you probably should have worn a hazmat suit because you got infected.
Yeah.
Oh,
I rolled so good. I'm mad. That would have been my first roll. My god.
remember the lyrics? That is like that song. So that's like that movie and Dark Crystal are like Nick in a nutshell. Okay, like those two movies or like that, and I don't know, maybe Ninja Scroll. That will define Nick's childhood, right? All right. Anyways, are we good to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I mean, you literally played a character for a long campaign whose name was Skexus, who we had an issue that he kept attacking Mike's character. That's where we had to have the conversation at our table that using spells as a retaliation that do lethal damage is the same thing as stabbing somebody with a longsword, and it's not okay. You cannot just, well, I just, shocked him a little. You can't shock somebody for 3d6 damage. That's stabbing him 3 times with a short sword. You can't do it.
He's
like,
well, thing to do.
He tried to take extra gold. He shouldn't have tried to take the extra gold. And then Dave takes the extra gold.
Mike is peeking.
Doesn't surprise me.
Oh my god.
I did rise a few octaves. So, by the way, we good to get out of here? Anything anybody wants to talk about before we go?
No, my internet can't stream. We're upgrading it, so maybe I can at some point, but
What's your upload?
I don't know. But with the bandwidth it theoretically should be fine, but it isn't.
You can do it with 10 upload. I did that for years. That's how I started my channel, right?
The problem is I got 3 roommates that all have gaming PCs and they play games online at night.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
It's gonna run into.
You're competing with the upload. Yep, I understand. All right, cool. And then no streams on Wednesday. Not doing any streams on Wednesday, just as a reminder to everybody. So I'll be off that day. And then I will start catching things up as of next week. Reminder, my birthday is September 23rd. So that morning, early afternoon, so on and so forth, I will be streaming. Then when I go pick up Aurora from school, obviously I'm going to spend time with my daughter on my birthday, with my wife and whatnot on my birthday, so on and so forth. I don't know, because it's a Thursday, I don't know if I'm streaming at night or if I'm doing full-on plans with the wife in the evening. I have no clue. I do know that she accidentally told me that she bought me a 90-minute massage as my birthday gift because you guys had to cancel the Patreon session. So she was like, what? No, that might interfere with this. And I'm like, you should have took the time first. You ruined the surprise. It's all good. Either way, anything else? Anything else we should do? Jake, Nick, Sel, anything to talk about?
I hate school right now because it's 95 degrees outside every day, and I have to walk like 1.5 miles every day to 2 miles.
Ride a bike?
I was
motor scooter.
I can't balance on a bike.
Wait,
okay.
Can you wait?
No, I can't. I have really bad balance. Okay.
Wait, no. Like I'm genuinely not trying to. Yeah. So is this because you A, never learned, or B, like actually have like an internal ear problem where like you don't have?
I never learned, and I'm not diagnosed with it, but there's like correlations with balance problems and other things. I have speech impediments and something like that. I know that's weird. So I'm not sure what it is, but I do actually just have a balance problem. Like I unironically can trip over my feet when walking in a straight line.
So Eric, okay.
So it's like I can't ride anything. Okay.
It's never too late to learn. Jake, you were saying something.
Maybe one day.
I was really hyped up, gearing up to announce my OnlyFans, but since they canceled all these sexual content.
Oh, they didn't. They actually went back. They went back. They reversed that. Yeah. Oh, you can still do it.
When's that OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Should have read the news, dude.
Oh.
Hey, Sel, just talk to Jake and you can learn to ride something. Okay.
I love it. OnlyFans.com/AussieBoss. Come on. We got to give him a good name. Come on. What do we have for a name for him?
So, who are you rating?
That's right. I thought when they said that they were going to lose the majority of their business if they did that, which I didn't understand why they were.
Because they seriously jumped up in that kind of content being produced in what's the word I'm looking for?
Realistically, that's
2020.
Cool.
Well, I mean, in 2020 they jumped up that kind of content production, so on and so forth. It also allows for people that want to be a part of like the porn industry to not deal with the horrifying aspects of the porn industry, right? It allows you to decentralize that kind of content, which if you've ever watched any documentaries, which I've seen several about that industry, it's pretty fucked up shit going on in that industry. So again, guys, girls, others, if you want it, get it. I'm not criticizing you for doing that stuff. And if you can do so without the horrible abuse that industry does, cool, get yours. No judgment.
Yeah, what Steve said though, it was actually like a bank was gonna cancel their transaction stuff, so it wasn't like them wanting to ship
the bank never actually said they're going to cancel their stuff. The bank took actions against Pornhub because of what Pornhub was doing. They misinterpreted why they took those actions, and so they were trying to get the cart ahead of the horse, or the horse ahead of the cart, whatever it is, right? But again, they misinterpreted why MasterCard, Visa, and the other one were doing it, and they were doing it because of unverified accounts doing terrible content uploads and again, abuse and whatnot. Anyways, we're out of here in just a few seconds, so bye everybody, have a great one. Bye.